Okay. Hello. Is it my voice is audible to everyone? Please respond anyone through chat box. So I continue my session now. So please respond through chat box. Okay. Hello. Yeah, one of the person. Okay, thank you. Okay, now I continue my session. Okay, in the last class, we're discussing about a primary key. What is a primary key and what is a foreign key? I think uh, I'm already sharing my WordPad also after the class in the yesterday. So I think all of the members verified that. So better you try to do some extra work in this subject. So because this is the one of the core subject to us. So better you try to care about this. Another thing I will try to explain again primary key and foreign key. And the next thing, another topic is in this chapter mainly we are focused on to the relational data model, and another thing is the SQL, basic SQL. Okay, in the case of basic SQL, we are mainly focused on to the different types of languages. So database languages. So if you are observe here, so I will try to share one thing. Let's wait 1 minute. Okay. Now I try to share my screen. Okay. So in the last classes, we are discussing about this. Sorry. This. Please observe now. In the last class, we are already discussing about this. Okay. Here we are discussing about different types of constraints also. I hope all of the members able to understood what is a primary key and what is a foreign key. So we will try to discuss again in this class. Okay, before going to that, so here we try to discuss about the SQL tutorial. So SQL tutorial provides basic advanced concepts of SQL. Our SQL tutorials designed for beginners and professionals. SQL is used to perform operations on the records stored in the database, such as updating records, deleting records, creating and modifying the tables, etc. So that means here we are using the SQL. SQL means nothing but a structure query language. Okay, structure query language. Okay. Uh, and this will be used for to performing the different types of operations. So and here we are based upon different types of languages also. So those are nothing but Ddl, Dml, Dcl and Tcl. Okay, now we try to see one by one. So SQL is just a query language. It is not a database. To perform SQL queries, you need to install any database. For example, Oracle, MySQL, Mango database, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, DB2. So like this. So that means SQL is not a database. So it is a one of the language to performing the operations of SQL to maintaining the database. So you can install any type of the database. So in the our example session, here we are downloading the Oracle XC, am right? Okay, whatever it may be the database, here we are using the same type of query. Okay, so small changes are there, MySQL and Oracle. Okay, and uh, MySQL, Mango database, PostgreSQL, like this, different types of versions there. Okay, what is SQL? SQL means nothing but structured query language. In the exam point of view, asking one question. So that is nothing but what are the basic parts of SQL? Okay, sorry, what is the basic parts of a query? So what is the basic parts of a query? Actually, three classes are there. So those three types of classes means nothing but one is the select class, and another one is the from class, and another one is the where class. Any type of the query is having these three things. Okay, first of all, we need to specify what we are displaying from the database. So that is in under select. Am I right? For example, if we are displaying the employee names from the employee database, then how we write the query? Select ename. So that means select specifies so what we are displaying from the database. So that is one part. Second part is from class. So where we are displaying from where we are displaying the data. So that is nothing but table name from class. So next one is the where class. So which type of users displaying the data. So for example, maybe we are displaying the employee names whose salary is greater than 25,000. So how we can write the query? Select ename from EMP where ESAL greater than 25,000. Am I right? So that means for every query having the three parts. So those are, one is the select class, and another one is the from class, and another one is the where class. Okay. So next one is the, it is pronounced as SQL, sometimes SQL. So SQL database language, it is used for database creation, deletion, fetching rows, and modifying rows. SQL is based on the relational algebra and tuple relational calculus. So that means, so these are also the extra topics we will try to discuss about in the next classes. Okay. So all DBMS like MySQL, Oracle, MS Access, Sybase, Informix, PostgreSQL, and SQL Server use SQL standard database language. So that means whatever it may be the database, here we are using the same type of format SQL. Okay. So next one is the, so types of languages. SQL types of languages. Here we are consider different types of commands. So if you observe here DDL, actually we are consider three commands. So create, alter, drop. Here rename is also we can consider as a this one DDL. Okay, and truncate is also considered into the DDL. Okay, we will try to execute one by one. Okay, don't worry about that. So create command is used for creating the database. Alter command is used for adding the columns or removing the columns, or adding the constraints or removing the constraints from the database. So drop means nothing but dropping the entire database. So rename means, so renaming the table. For example, how we are renaming the table? Rename, so old name to the new name. So that is the syntax. Okay, for example, if we are renaming the student as a stud, okay, then rename student to stud. So then the table existing name is student is converted to the stud. Okay. In the same way, insert operation, that is in the data manipulation language. You please all of you practice with the syntaxes. Why? Because in the exam point of view, asking number of times. So even though asking not this question, so you can answer. So that means we can try to elaborate the thing. Okay. So another thing, so in the exam point of view, this is the most important. So what are the database languages? So I write about SQL, how we are processing the query. So whatever it may be the question, so we can try to giving the relation. In this is one of the easiest subject. And another thing, we can draw the relation from one topic to the another topic. So even though we are not able to, even though we don't know the answer, but we can able to draw the answer with the knowing topic. Okay. So that's why better you try to practice these commands with all syntaxes. Okay. Next one, up to now we are discussing about data definition language. I think the name is implies. Here we are giving the definition. What is that? For example, if you are creating the students table, so what is the student number? What is the student name? What is the student marks? So these are specified in the DDL. So that means in the create command. So when we are using the create command, how we are using the create command? Create table, table name, and field name data type. So here field name specifies the attribute. Am I right or not? So in the same way, alter table, alter command is used for adding the columns or removing the columns. Okay, and another one is the DML. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Uh, okay. So data manipulation language is used for to manipulating the data. So that means, so either inserting the data or deleting the data or updating the data. So all these are data manipulation language. So another one here we are considered as data retrieval language. So that means we are retrieving the data, but we are not performing any type of the changes. So that's why that can be considered as data retrieval language. So data control language, we are already discussing about this. So again, we try to practice in this class. Okay, grant is used for grant all permissions to the users, and revoke is used for removing the permissions from the users. Okay, and another one is the transaction control language. So transaction control language means commit. Commit means nothing but whatever it may we are performing the operations, those are saved in the database with the help of commit command. Okay, so next one is the rollback. So that means like as the undo operation. Save point. Save point is used for, so nothing but here particular particular action will be saved with the save point. For example, maybe we are inserting some two rows into the table. So that can be saved as one save point. So again, next we try to insert some other four rows into a same table. Then again, we try to save with the save point. So that means here save point can be able to save the particular transaction. Okay. So these are the languages. We already know about this, but we try to again practice this. Okay, ddl commands, dml commands, dcl commands, and tcl commands. In the exam point of view, definitely if you having the grip on these commands, definitely you will get 20 marks, no doubt. So why? Because so one of the question is completely based upon to the query. So that means he is giving the data in the question paper. So based upon that data, we can create the table and we can retrieve the data and we can write the query. Okay, and this is most important. In the last 2 days back, so I think InfiniQ exam is conducted for your seniors. So in that exam also, half of the paper is completely based upon the database. So if you having the grip on this subject, you can definitely you can update your resume. Okay, so better you try to practice most of the time, and better if you having the possibility, you please download this software also. Okay, I'm already sharing that link. Okay, so now we try to see one by one. So SQL standard language access database, it is classified into 5 types. Data definition language is nothing but using the definition. So what type of definition it is? How many number of fields are there? What is the table name? Okay, what is the data type? So like this, that is possible through using the create command. Alter command is used for adding columns or removing columns. Drop command is used for dropping the entire database. Data manipulation means inserting the data, deleting the data, updating the data. So DCL, so grant and revoke. So next TCL, commit, rollback, save point. So next one is the data retrieval means select. Okay, here just giving the definition about each and every one. So data definition language, it is language that allows users to define the data and their relationship to other types of data. It is mainly used to create files in databases and data dictionary tables within the database. It is also used to specify the structure of each table, set of associated values with each attribute, integrity constraints, security, authorization, and information for the each table. And physical storage structure of each table on the disk. Okay. So here, create schema objects with the help of create, alter schema. So what is the meaning of schema? Database. Okay. Delete schema, drop, rename schema. Data manipulation language. It is a language that provides a set of operations to support basic data manipulation operations. So in the exam point of view, asking what are the types of languages of the database or what are the types of SQL. Okay. At this demo situation, you need to explain each and every operation with the example and syntax also. Okay, and better you try to explain the example also. It is a language that provides a set of operations to support the basic data manipulation operations on the data handled in the database. It allows users to insert, update, delete, and retrieve data from the database. The part of the DML involves data retrieval is called data retrieval language. Okay, data query language. So the following commands: delete, insert, and update. So delete purpose is removing rows or tuples from the table. So add new rows into a table. Okay, change column values. Update by using update. Okay, so up to now we are discussing about. Just wait a minute. So up to now we are discussing about how we are using the different types of commands. Am I right? So now we try to see one by one. So first of all, we are doing the practice. Okay, in the last class, I'm using one WordPad. So now today also I am using through WordPad. I will try to give the explanation. Okay. I hope all of the members having the clarity about how we are creating the primary key and foreign key. Am I right? Okay. So to now we try to practice Ddl and Dml commands. Okay, Ddl and Dml commands. Ddl commands. Okay, what are the Ddl commands? So one is the create command. So what is the purpose of create command? To create the table, am I right? So create the table. So create command is used for to create the table. Use it for create the table. So syntax for create the table. How we are creating the table? So create table. Okay, create table. Table name. What is the table name? And here open the parenthesis and field name and data type. So in this type of way, here we can assign any number of fields. Okay, now we try to consider the example. Create table emp. Okay, for example em. Okay, create table em and field name is enumber number ename worker of 20. So sal here I am consider int. So in this type of way we can create the table. So just we try to see so how we are creating the table. Copy and here we click this and come to edit and paste. I think we are not copy. Copy. So where it is this? Okay, we try to type this create table. What's the table name? Em. Okay, enumber number ename worker of 20. Okay, and another one sal number. Table is created. Okay, now we try to insert the values. Insert into table name values. So what is the table name? Em values. So previously I'm saying about the ampersand, am right? So we try to use the ampersand with the field name. Single quotes, ampersand, field name. What is the field name? E number, comma, within quotes, ampersand, e name. So within quotes, ampersand, cell. If you're giving like this, then we can enter more number of rows at a time. For example, what is the employee number? 1. So what is the employee name? Triple A. So what is the salary? 23,000. So one row is created. Okay. So again, I'm using slash here. So next employee number 2, employee name triple B, employee salary 34,000. Okay. Again, I'm using slash employee number 3 and employee name triple C and salary is 45,000. Okay. Now I try to display the table. Select star from EM. Okay. So that means up to now I'm using how many number of comments I'm using here. So one is the create table. Okay, next is the insert values. Okay, next is the select. So according to the according to the database languages. So in the case of ddl, create is used but alter is not used there. So we try to use alter now. Okay, so up to now just only we are consider employee number, employee name, salary. For example, if I want to add address, then how can I add address? Alter, by using alter command. Alter table, table name. What's the table name? So what's the table name? Em. And what we are adding here? Address. AWS address. So worker of 20. So if I'm giving like this, so then this column is added. Okay, now we try to see whether it is added or not. Select star from em. So if you are observe here, so address is added, but here we are not assigning the value. Am right? So we try to assign only for only particular this field. So that's why we are using the update command. Update. What's the table name? Em. Okay, set what we are set here? Address. So address within the quotes. For example, here also I'm giving ampersand. Okay, so what is the purpose of here we are mentioned the ampersand? Hello. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Hello. Okay, here also I'm using the ampersand. What is the purpose of ampersand? Whatever it may be, we are giving the value that will be stored in the particular address. So now address equal to what I am giving the value, so that will be stored at the address. Okay, so that's why address 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 where for whom I am assigning this address e number equal to ampersand e number. Okay, if I'm giving like this, so we don't write every time update. Okay, for example, first of all I'm asking address Elur, for whom employee number one row is updated. Okay, I think are you understood? Again I'm using the slash address, so address is Rajmandry and employee number is 2. Okay, and again I'm using slash, now asking address Kakinada. Okay, employee number is 3. So if I want to display now, select star from em. Okay, so that means at a time here we are performing the modifications. Okay, so up to now we are using create command, alter command, okay, and insert command, select command, okay, update command also. So now we try to use delete from table name. What's the table name? Em, where, okay, delete from table name where field name equal to value. Okay, what's the field name here? So for example, e number equal to ampersand e number. Okay, if I'm giving like this, then it will be asking me, so for which row is deleted. So for example, here I'm giving employee number 3, then it will be deleted. Okay, if you observe here, select star from, so what's the table name? Em. So only 2 rows are there. For example, if it is not want to perform that operation. Okay, so at that time of the situation we are using the rollback. So if you are observe here, I'm using the commit. So that means only 3 rows return to the disk, but after performing the delete operation I'm not using the commit. So that means what is the nothing but here these 3 tuples are already saved in the disk. So for example, if I'm using rollback here, rollback, then it will be written whatever it may be, I'm deleting that particular row. Am I right? So if you observe here, only 2 rows are there. Why? Because I'm using delete operation, but I'm not using the commit operation. So that's why, so again it will be retrieve the 3 tuples. So just to try to see now, so rollback means nothing but a undo operation. So that means whatever it may be we are previously done, so that is not performed. So again it will be retracted. So that is nothing but commit operation. Okay, so up to now we are discussing about create command, alter command, insert command, select command, update command, and delete command, and rollback also, and commit also. Okay, so now we try to use the save point. For example, if I want to save these 3 rows, save point a, then one save point is created. Okay, so based upon this save point we can retrieve the values also. For example, maybe if I want to insert some other rows, okay, if I want to insert some other rows, yeah, here if you are observe here, insert into table name values ampersand e number ampersand e name ampersand cell. So now this table is having another column also, that is ampersand address. I hope all of the members able to understood this. I am not doing in the very fast way, so I try to explain in the slow manner. So better you try to understand this. I hope all of the members having the grip on these comments. So if you're not having the grip, you please try to watch my video. So previously I'm sharing in the group. So if you want to search my videos in the YouTube, so you can type the search box, okay, Ganesh Jesus songs. If you type like this, Ganesh Jesus songs, then you can view my channel. So if you go to the channel, from the playlists you can select the Dbms. So on that one I'm explaining about all these commands. If you're having any type of the doubt in that particular thing, okay, so better you try to maintain the type of the syntax clearly. So otherwise, so it will be creates a lot of problems. You should be having the grip on these commands And another thing, you should be having the grip on what is the primary key and how we are creating the foreign key. So if you are learning about these practical sessions, these are very useful in the exam point of view. Okay. Now I try to insert the 4 columns values at a time. So by using ampersand, okay, employee number 4, okay, employee name, for example, triple D, and the salary is, for example, 44,000. Okay, address is also here, so that's why here I'm giving Vijayawada. Again, I'm using the slash employee number 5 and employee name for the employee name. Okay, triple E, and the salary is, for example, 55,000, and the address is, for example, here I'm giving Vizag. Okay, so if you want to display this, select star from EM. Okay, so 5 rows are here, we are entered into the database. So now again I'm using save point here, save point. Okay, so before doing this, so I'm using commit. Okay, 5 rows are saved into the disk. Okay, and another thing here I'm using save point. So baby, so in the case of previous case, save point AA is used for only 3 rows. Okay, if I want to display only particular that point, so we can display the table also. Select star from EM, where save point equal to, I don't know actually it is working or not. So just to try to save this invalid identifier. So because here, so we can using rollback. So up to now, just select star from EM. I'm right. So 5 rows are there. If you performing the rollback, so roll back to save point AA. So then it will be remove the BB. Okay, just to try to see now. AA never established. So are we not giving the save point AA? Where is save point AA? Yes. Okay. So in this type of a where we are using save point and rollback. Okay, and commit also. So that means here up to now we are using data control language. Okay, now transaction control language. Okay, sorry, transaction control language is already discussed. So now data control language. So that is nothing but grant and revoke. Okay, so how we are create the new user, create user. So username, for example, I'm creating Mahesh. Okay, identified by password. So what is the password? Here also I'm giving Mahesh. Okay, one user is created. So now grant all privileges for to this particular user. Grant all privileges to Mahesh. So then we can able to access by using this. So just I try to close the screen again and type the search in the SQL. Okay, so now I try to connect Mahesh slash Mahesh connected. So that means he can able to doing all SQL commands. Okay, for example, if I'm doing the command is like this, then so default tables. So actually we up to now we are not creating any tables now. So that's why, so no tables are there. Okay, so that is displayed, no rows selected. Okay, if you are for example maybe connect system slash manager. Okay, so now you are no longer connected to Oracle. Again we try to close this. So again we try to open this SQL. So go to SQL, run SQL command line. Okay, now you can use connect system slash manager. Okay, it is connected. So now if you are removing this, for example maybe so revoke all privileges from Mahesh, then he is not able to doing anything. revoke success. So up to now we are discussing about total commands. So nothing but ddl commands, dml commands, dcl commands, and tcl commands. So all we are discussed here. Okay, if we want to try to connect Mahesh slash Mahesh. Okay, okay. Actually here the problem is here we are removing the permissions but not removing the user. Okay, so just to try to drop the user also. Drop user, username. What's the username? Mahesh. Not connected, sorry. Okay, first of all we try to see connect system slash manager connected. So drop user, username. Yeah, user is dropped now. So that means not able to connecting that user. So that means up to now we're discussing about total languages of the SQL: DDL commands, DML commands, and DCL commands and TCL commands. Okay, now again we try to uh, so we try to discuss about this. So and better we go for connect. In the previous class we am creating this CS 511 slash CS 511. Am I right? Yeah, connected. So now we try to discuss 7 star from EM. So these are the 5 rows, but this table is not having the primary key. Now how we are adding the primary key for to this table? So by using alter command, alter table. So table name, what's the table name? EM, and add primary key. So what is the purpose of primary key? Primary key is used for to maintain the unique values, and that will be used for to retrieving the values easily from the database. Okay, so which one will be treated as primary key here? So E number. So that's why here I'm giving E number. Okay, so the main advantage of primary key is it is not accepting the null values into that particular field. Okay, if we want to not allow some other fields also, so then how we can modify this? For example, maybe if we are hello. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so now how we are okay, hello, yeah. Now I continue my session. Okay, so by using alter command we can add the primary key, so we can drop the primary key also. Okay, and next for example maybe, so by with the help of primary key we can nothing but easily retrieving the data from the database. And another thing, it is not accepting the null values. Then what about CNAME and SAL and address? So those are accepting the null values. Then how we are modify that? So we are already creating the table. So by using alter command, so we can modify that. So alter table, what's the table name? EM. And here if you are using modify. Okay, what we are modifying here, for example maybe ename marker of 20. I'm right, actually we are giving that. So if you are giving not null here, if you are giving not null, then it is modified, table altered. So now we try to see. So here if you want to insert into table name em values. Okay, here I'm giving directly giving the values. For example here I'm giving 6. Okay, and the name is, for example here I'm not giving the name, so simply I'm giving the null value. Okay, in the same way salary is also I'm giving the null value. and address also I'm giving the null value. Okay, now I try to create this, but this row is not created. Why? Because here I'm assigning the not null keyword for the ename, but here ename is also considered the null value. Okay, cannot insert null values into the em dot ename. So that means em is the table name, ename is the field name, cs511 is the username. Okay, if you are giving some name here, for example the name is triplef, then row is created. So that means here occurring the null values into the database. So if you are restricting those type of entries by using null keyword, so not null keyword, okay, then how we can display the data about null values? Select star from, okay, table name where for example sal, if sal is null. Okay, so in the same way, if you are using not null, then displaying remaining values. Okay, I hope all of the members able to understood what I'm saying up to now. Okay, in the last class we are discussing about what is a primary key and how we are creating the primary key and what is a foreign key or what is a referential integrity. Okay, better you try to remember all these topics forever. So why? Because these topics are very important in any type of exam. So in competitive exams, or maybe in government exams, or maybe campus interviews, definitely asking these type of questions. So we will try to practice more number of comments in the next session also. Okay, if you having any type of the problem, you can contact me personally. Okay, if anyone is if you having any type of the doubts, you can ask me, otherwise I will ask you now. In the previous session also I'm saying about that. Okay, if anyone is having any type of the doubts, you can ask me. So I will try to unmute now. You can unmute yourself and try to talk with me. If you're having any type of the difficulty, you can ask me. Okay, so actually today I'm not explaining any new thing. So I'm discussing the previous topic. Just according to the formality, I will explain the topic in the syllabus. Okay, so in the next class we try to discuss about SQL data types and SQL functions. If you discuss about these topics, then second unit is completed. Okay, and we try to practice some commands also. So those are maybe those are maybe facing we are in some other units. Okay, don't worry about that, just to try to practice commands separately. Okay, don't try to consider which type of unit it is. So better you try to remember what type of command, what is the command, and what is the purpose of command. So in the exam point of view, asking the questions, so maybe half of the questions related to the queries also. Okay, so for example, maybe how this command is working, how we are using the commit and rollback and save point. So like this. So maybe that question is asking to the 7 marks. Then how we can satisfy? So better we try to having the grip on all these commands. Okay. If you having any doubt the doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will end the session today. My end the session now. My end the session. Better all of the people please join within the time. So then reducing the wasting of time. Okay, every day we'll wait. So maybe 10 or 5 minutes to join some other members. Okay, my end the session. Okay, thank you, Anandal.